Electrical neutrality is a fundamental concept in electrical engineering and safety. It refers to the state of an electrical system where the sum of all electrical charges is zero. In simpler terms, it means that the system is neither positively nor negatively charged overall. This neutrality is achieved through proper grounding and bonding practices, which provide a safe path for fault currents to return to the source, tripping circuit breakers or fuses and preventing electrical shock hazards. Understanding and maintaining electrical neutrality is crucial for ensuring the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems in residential, commercial, and industrial settings. The neutral conductor in an electrical system is typically connected to ground at the service entrance. This connection provides a reference point of 0 volts and helps to stabilize the voltage levels in the system. When a fault occurs, such as a short circuit between a hot conductor and a grounded metal enclosure, the fault current flows through the grounding path back to the source. This high current causes the circuit breaker or fuse to trip, interrupting the flow of electricity and preventing a potential electrical shock. Bonding is the process of connecting all metallic parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault currents. This includes metal conduits, enclosures, equipment frames, and other conductive components. Bonding ensures that all these parts are at the same electrical potential, minimizing the risk of electrical shock if someone comes into contact with them. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems. These requirements are designed to ensure that electrical systems are installed and maintained in a safe and reliable manner. The NEC covers various aspects of grounding and bonding, including the size and type of grounding conductors, the location of grounding electrodes, and the methods for bonding different types of equipment. One important aspect of grounding is the use of grounding electrodes. Grounding electrodes are typically metal rods, pipes, or plates that are buried in the earth and connected to the grounding conductor. These electrodes provide a low-resistance connection to the earth, which helps to dissipate fault currents and stabilize the voltage levels in the system. The NEC specifies the types of grounding electrodes that are permitted and the minimum requirements for their installation. Another important aspect of bonding is the use of bonding jumpers. Bonding jumpers are short lengths of wire that are used to connect different metallic parts of an electrical system together. These jumpers ensure that all the parts are at the same electrical potential, even if they are not directly connected to each other. The NEC specifies the size and type of bonding jumpers that are required for different types of equipment. In addition to grounding and bonding, another important aspect of electrical neutrality is the use of ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs. GFCIs are designed to detect small imbalances in the current flowing through the hot and neutral conductors. If an imbalance is detected, the GFCI quickly trips the circuit, preventing a potential electrical shock. GFCIs are typically required in areas where there is a high risk of electrical shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. Maintaining electrical neutrality is essential for several reasons. Firstly, it helps to prevent electrical shock hazards. When an electrical system is properly grounded and bonded, fault currents can safely return to the source, tripping circuit breakers or fuses and preventing electrical shock. Secondly, it helps to protect equipment from damage. When a fault occurs, the high current can damage electrical equipment if it is not properly grounded and bonded. Thirdly, it helps to improve the reliability of electrical systems. When an electrical system is properly grounded and bonded, it is less likely to experience voltage fluctuations and other electrical problems. There are several common problems that can occur with electrical neutrality. Firstly, improper grounding can lead to electrical shock hazards. If the grounding conductor is not properly connected or is too small, fault currents may not be able to return to the source quickly enough to trip the circuit breaker or fuse. Secondly, improper bonding can lead to electrical shock hazards. If the metallic parts of an electrical system are not properly bonded together, they may be at different electrical potentials, which can create a shock hazard if someone comes into contact with them. Thirdly, ground loops can cause electrical noise and interference. Ground loops occur when there are multiple paths for ground current to flow, which can create unwanted voltage differences and noise. Firstly, inspect grounding and bonding connections. Secondly, check for loose or corroded connections. Thirdly, test ground resistance. Fourthly, verify GFCI operation. Fifthly, ensure proper wiring practices. Electrical neutrality also plays a role in reducing electromagnetic interference, or EMI. A properly grounded and bonded system can minimize the radiation of electromagnetic fields, which can interfere with sensitive electronic equipment. This is particularly important in environments such as hospitals, laboratories, and data centers where sensitive equipment is used. Static electricity is another phenomenon related to electrical neutrality. Static electricity is the buildup of electrical charge on the surface of an object. This charge can be positive or negative, and it can create a spark or shock when the object comes into contact with another object with a different charge. Grounding and bonding can help to dissipate static electricity, preventing sparks and shocks. In some industries, such as electronics manufacturing and pharmaceuticals, static electricity can be a major problem. Static discharge can damage sensitive electronic components and contaminate products. Therefore, it is important to take steps to control static electricity in these environments. One way to control static electricity is to use static dissipative materials. These materials are designed to slowly dissipate static charge, preventing it from building up to dangerous levels. Another way to control static electricity is to use air ionizers. Air ionizers generate positive and negative ions that neutralize static charge in the air. The concept of electrical neutrality extends beyond electrical systems to other areas, such as chemistry and physics. In chemistry, a neutral atom or molecule has an equal number of protons and electrons, resulting in no net charge. In physics, electrical neutrality is a fundamental principle that governs the behavior of charged particles. Electrical neutrality is essential for ensuring the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems. It helps to prevent electrical shock hazards, protect equipment from damage, and improve the reliability of electrical systems. By understanding and maintaining electrical neutrality, we can create a safer and more efficient electrical environment. In addition to the NEC, there are other standards and regulations that address electrical safety. These include the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, standards and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, regulations. These standards and regulations provide additional guidance on how to install and maintain electrical systems in a safe and reliable manner. It is important to stay up to date on the latest standards and regulations to ensure that electrical systems are installed and maintained in accordance with best practices. Proper grounding and bonding are not just about safety, they also contribute to the overall performance of electrical equipment. For instance, sensitive electronic devices may malfunction or provide inaccurate readings if the grounding is inadequate, leading to noise or voltage fluctuations. Therefore, a good grounding system acts as a filter, ensuring a clean and stable power supply. The NEC provides specific guidelines for different types of electrical systems, such as those found in healthcare facilities, industrial plants, and data centers. Each of these environments has unique requirements for grounding and bonding due to the sensitivity of the equipment and the potential for hazard. For example, healthcare facilities often require isolated grounding systems to minimize electrical noise that could interfere with medical equipment. When designing an electrical system, it's important to consider the specific needs of the application and choose the appropriate grounding and bonding methods. Consulting with a qualified electrical engineer or contractor is crucial to ensure that the system meets all applicable codes and standards. Furthermore, regular inspections and testing of the grounding and bonding system are necessary to maintain its effectiveness. This includes checking the resistance of grounding connections, verifying the continuity of bonding conductors, and testing the operation of GFCIs. Over time, connections can corrode or loosen, which can compromise the integrity of the grounding system. Therefore, a proactive maintenance program is essential for preventing problems and ensuring the continued safety of the electrical system. In addition to traditional grounding methods, there are also newer technologies that can improve the performance of grounding systems. These include surge protective devices, or SPDs, which are designed to protect equipment from voltage surges caused by lightning or other events. SPD divert the surge current to ground, preventing it from damaging sensitive electronic components. Another technology is the use of equipotential planes, which are conductive surfaces that are bonded together to create a uniform electrical potential. Equipotential planes are often used in data centers and other environments where sensitive equipment is used to minimize electrical noise and interference. Proper grounding and bonding are essential for the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems. By following the NEC guidelines and implementing a proactive maintenance program, you can ensure that your electrical system is properly grounded and bonded, protecting people and equipment from electrical hazards. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about your electrical system. A qualified electrician has the training and experience to identify and correct electrical problems safely and effectively.